This was our shortest, highest, and by far coldest night. I slept maybe 1.5 hour maximum. We got up at 3:30, just had breakfast. Now it's 4:30 and we're about to leave for Thorong. The sun is out and it's finally getting a little bit warmer now. It was so damn cold in the morning. All of us couldn't feel their fingers or toes. The second hour you walk from high camp to a small tea shop. We were still freezing, and then finally when we left the tea shop, the sun came out and got a little bit warmer, tiny little bit. Welcome back to the men and ladies who stare at mountains. I'm still with Jihek, Christine and Dominic, and this is the third part of our big Mannapurnaslu Trek. During the last 2 weeks we successfully completed the wonderful Manaslu Trek. If you haven't seen our videos about the Manaslu Trek yet, please consider checking them out. Our Manaslu Circuit Trek finished in Dharapani after 13 beautiful days. Dharapani will also be the starting point for our trek across the 5,416 meter high Thorong Pass, which is also the main portion of the world famous Annapurna Circuit. We then plan to finish our big Mannapurnaslu Trek in Muktinath, a town sitting at about 3,700 meters of altitude, hosting a temple sacred to both Hindus and Buddhists. Since we are already adapted to the altitude, we will try to get there in only 5 days from Dharapani. The last time I walked these trails, in fact back then the whole Annapurna circuit, was 5 years ago, and a lot has changed since then. We start walking northwest from Dharapani along the Marsyangdi River, which we will follow the next few days. The first hour and a half we walk on a pretty dull dirt road, until after the village of Danakyu. Then follows a long and steep climb up to Timang, where most hikers decide to have lunch. From Timang on, you're back at the dirt road, and only leave it very briefly to cross a suspension bridge near the village of Tanchok. From there you will hike to Koto where your permits are checked and the Nar Food Trail branches off to the road. We continue to our overnight stop in Chame, again on the dirt road. The target for our second day on the Annapurna Trek is Upper Pisang, and we leave Chame at about 8, of course on the dirt road. The traffic here is really quite heavy. There are countless motorbikes, tractors, jeeps and trucks. It's loud, disgustingly stinky, and either so dusty it makes you choke, or so muddy that your pants get splashed every time someone goes by. While the nature in the Masyangdi Canyon is still fabulous, the hiking itself on this dirt road is actually really not fun at all. There's only a small shortcut on the right on an actual hiking trail, but like 90% of this stage still follows the dirt road. About 2 hours after Chame, you'll reach the former village of Bratang. Former because the actual village of Bratang is no more. Instead, Bratang is now a huge industrial-style apple farm with a coffee shop and a snazzy luxury hotel. We continue walking on the wide road that was blasted out of the massive rock here. The numerous jeeps meanwhile continue to be dusty, stinky, loud, just annoying in any possible way. At the foot of a gigantic, smoothly carved rock wall, thankfully a hiking trail branches off to the left, crosses a bridge and enters the forest. The trail climbs quite steeply to Dikopokari, but the nature and scenery are beautiful, and a much needed change from hiking on what seems to be a World Rally Championship stage. After having lunch in Dikopokari, it's just an hour through some very pleasant pine forest until we reach Upper Pisang. Finally, the stage today feels like last time I was here. We started this morning in Upper Pisang, and it was first 40 minutes or so really scenic and beautiful trail, and after those 40 minutes you will reach a mani wall and small suspension bridge, and then you start the steep and long climb up to the village of Gyaro. And it feels just as brutal as it did 5 years ago. This was always my favorite stage on the whole Annapurna circuit, or say one of the favorite stages, and I'm happy to tell you that the views are just as mind-boggling as they were before. But there is still one bad thing I gotta tell you. When I was here the first time, Gyaro and Naval, where we'll go later, were like top secret insider tips, and most trekkers were still hiking on the rather boring trail on the valley floor to Manang. But now it seems that the ugly dirt road has reached even those two villages, and I really hope they didn't completely ruin the trail up there. Lots of things might have changed in the last couple of years. Not all for the good, but Gyaro still has one of the best views in the Himalayas, maybe in the world. Unfortunately, it's true. The trail between Gyaro and Naval is indeed a dirt road now. A small one though, not as big like the dual carriageway on the valley floor. Still nice to walk. We haven't seen a jeep or a motorbike yet. I hope it stays like this. And so far, I would say it's still definitely worth to go up here. It is still one of the best hikes I know. Good news from halfway from Gyaro to Naval. It seems like the dirt road is not finished yet. There is still several sections where you walk on the old hiking trail, but you can clearly see that at least the digging, probably also the blasting, has already started. So I expect this road to be finished very soon. But right now, at least you walk on the old trail and there's no traffic yet. We left Manang this morning in a clear blue sky. It took us about half an hour to reach the village of Tinggi, and then another about 40 minutes, but a steep climb up to Gunsang. We left Gunsang behind about half an hour ago, and now from here, from this bridge, should be 1 hour more to Yakaka and another hour to Leta, where we probably have lunch. And there are some blue sheep. There is a pretty steep climb right after Leta, about 200 meters of altitude up, and then immediately 100 meters of altitude down again to a bridge that you cross, and on the other side you go back up the 100 meters of altitude, of course. After you pass a small shop, the last 40 minutes of your trek to Thorong Phedi will be through a landslide area. It didn't actually look too scary, but there were some rocks coming down from above us. After our lunch in Leta, it took us a bit more than 2 hours to come to Thorong Phedi, or Thorong La base camp. Thorong Phedi is at about 4,500 meters. There is one more lodge, 400 meters of altitude higher, Thorong High Camp, but sleeping there is actually kind of dangerous because of the risk of getting altitude sickness. So we decided to stay in Thorong Phedi, or Thorong Base Camp, and tackle the pass tomorrow from here. It will be about 800 or 900 meters of altitude up to the pass. People say it takes about 4 hours. Let's see tomorrow. This was our shortest, highest, and by far coldest night. I slept maybe 1.5 hour maximum. We got up at 3:30, just had breakfast. Now it's 4:30 and we're about to leave for Thorong. See you at sunrise. The sun is out and it's finally getting a little bit warmer now. It was so damn cold in the morning. All of us couldn't feel the fingers or toes. It was quite dark. No full moon or nothing. And the first hour of the pass was extremely steep, really brutal. Then the second hour you walk from high camp to a small tea shop with not so small prices. It was 240. We were still freezing, and then finally when we left the tea shop, the sun came out. It got a little bit warmer, tiny little bit. After the tea shop, you have about 2 to 2.5 more hours until you reach the pass. Well, I guess we're not there yet. It's mostly less steep than before. There are several steep bits, but not very long. But at this altitude, every single step, even flat, is so hard. We're walking so slow right now. According to my map, it should be about half a kilometer to the pass, but it will take us at least half an hour more. We saw some really large tour groups, and most of them hopelessly overweight. The kind of people that couldn't go up a flight of stairs at home. I have no idea what they want here. Well, most of them decided to spend a couple of $100 on a pony ride up to the pass. Still, most of them were close to passing out. And now there was a caravan of probably 20 ponies on the way to the pass. Unfortunately, I couldn't switch on the camera, it was too cold, so I couldn't film it. It's 8:45, took us 4 hours. We're up. The prayer flags, the sign, the tea shop. Everything like 5 years ago. This is the Kali Gandaki Valley. Last time we needed more than 5 hours down, but it wasn't deep snow, so I hope this time will be quicker. We took a short tea and juice break in Thorong, Phedi, the Kali Gandaki side of Thorong, Phedi. And now it seems like we're only 10-20 minutes away from Muktinath. We've seen the first prayer flags. The big sacred Muktinath temple should be just around the corner. It took us about 4 hours to reach Muktinath from Thorong, and it took us 18 days from Soti Khola to Muktinath. In Muktinath, or in the village of Rani Palva next to Muktinath temple, we spent the night in Bob Marley Hotel, one of the best lodges of the whole trek. And then the next day we took the jeep down to Pokhara. The jeep ride from Muktinath to Pokhara took us 11 hours. And to be honest, to us it looked like our driver was actually speeding it up, so don't be surprised if you would need 12 or 13 hours for the whole drive. dreadful. So all in all, it was really not a nice drive from Muktinath to Pokhara. Here's a really quick summary to the most important details you need to know if you would like to trek the Annapurna Circuit. However, I will upload another video very soon to give you a lot more useful information and also a comparison between the Manaslu and the Annapurna Circuit. That should help you in case you're wondering which trek is best for you. If it's already online, there is now a link at the top right corner of your screen. If not, please subscribe and allow notifications to get a message when it's online. The complete Annapurna circuit from Besi Sahar to Nayaful takes about 20 days to complete. For the main part, which we did this time, you'll need about 7 days including acclimatization, or like 5 days without. Besi Sahar is one short day ride away from both Kathmandu and Pokhara. If you want to start in Dharapani like we did, estimate 1.5 days to get there. If you finish in Muktinath, you'll need a full day to get to Pokhara. But if you complete the Annapurna circuit and finish in Nayaful, it's only 2 hours to Pokhara. From there you would need 1 day to get to Kathmandu by bus or half an hour on a plane. For the Annapurna circuit you need to get the TIMS trekking permit and the Annapurna Conservation Area project, or short, ACAP ticket. Together these will set you back about $50 US. You are free to trek the Annapurna circuit unguided. Navigation is very easy all the time, and therefore on its own no reason to hire a guide. Just make sure you don't walk alone across Thorong or on less frequented trails like up to Ice Lake or Tilicha Lake. The highest point on the Annapurna circuit is Thorong at a bit more than 5,400 meters. The highest you'll probably sleep is at Thorong Phedi, a bit more than 4,500 meters. If you are really well acclimatized, it's possible to sleep at high camp at about 5,000 meters, but that is neither truly safe nor necessary. Apart from the altitude at Thorong and the sheer length of the full circuit, the Annapurna circuit is not very demanding. Most of the first half follows a dirt road and therefore doesn't have any overly steep ups and downs compared with other long treks in Nepal. The stage across the pass itself is of course worth mentioning as fairly strenuous, especially the first bit between Thorong Phedi and High Camp. However, it's not more difficult than for example Larkela on the Manaslu circuit. However, the Annapurna circuit is much more safe, which is due to the proximity to motorable roads. Even on top of Thorong you're just half a day away from the nearest road. However, it's still extremely high altitude and you have to ensure proper acclimatization in any case. The mentioned road, however, also reduces the feeling of being in a remote wilderness greatly. The modern world has arrived in the Annapurna region, and with it thousands and thousands of tourists. And by that I don't refer to the walking kind of tourists, but to the get driven everywhere and just sightsee and shop and relax kind of tourists. Be aware that you will hike on a road that the majority of people, tourists and locals, only use for driving. Most seem to have no understanding whatsoever for people who voluntarily choose to walk when it's completely unnecessary. Together with the Everest area, the Annapurna area has by far the most comfortable trekking lodges in Nepal. Hot showers, western toilets, Wi-Fi, soft beds and extensive menus are the standard almost everywhere on the Annapurna circuit. Period. Estimate $25 for food and lodging and some more money for snacks, beer and soft drinks. You will get those engraved Mani stone walls, the prayer flags and the beautiful kompas you have seen on all these pictures. No problem. But if you search for some genuine Himalayan lifestyle, the Annapurna circuit is not the right trek for you.
Almost everything done by anyone in this valley is directly or indirectly caused by tourism. The road and the moss tourism aside, the main draw for most people to do this trek is the landscape, and it remains being breathtaking. From rice paddies, banana fields, and jungle all the way up to giant mountains. Just like the Manaslu Circuit, the good old Annapurna Circuit has it all. With Mannapurnaslu, Dhaulagiri and Annapurna, you'll be rewarded with 3 8,000ers if you choose to trek the whole thing. The best part on the main section in the upper Manang Valley is probably from Pisang to Ghorka and Nepal. On the west side of the pass is a proper desert in the Kali Gandaki Gorge. As I said earlier, there will soon be a video with much more details about both the Manaslu and the Annapurna Circuit, to tell you exactly which trek is good for which trekker.
We spent one more week in Nepal. Among other things, we went paragliding in Pokhara. There should be a video about this up very soon. Then we went to Chitwan National Park in the very south of Nepal in the flat Terai region. It's a huge national park where you can see rhinos and crocodiles and all kinds of other animals. There should also be a video about this on this channel very soon. The last 2 days of our Nepal trip we spent in Kathmandu sightseeing, and of course there will also be a short video about this on this channel very soon. In case you're interested in these videos, I recommend you subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon so you get a notification whenever those new videos are up. Otherwise, thanks for watching and see you next time when we stare at mountains.